In this video, I'm going to show you how you would develop one of your sketched ideas for your phone holder in an effort to try and improve it and make it better. Before I start my development page, I think it's important that we just review what you did in the previous lesson when you were asked to generate 4 sketched ideas for a phone holder using 4 different idea generation techniques. The first idea generation technique that we used is called taking the pencil for a walk, and as you can see, this idea generation technique is good for creating curved shapes or products that contain curved shapes. The second idea generation technique is a technique that you should all be familiar with, and that is called subtraction and manipulation. Basically, we draw squares or geometric shapes, and we draw other geometric shapes over the top to subtract from the original shape, and we end up with a new shape, which is then being incorporated into the design here at the bottom corner. The third idea generation technique is where we use a theme. The theme in this case was transport. You could have chosen any theme, but I used transport, and we ended up with this truck idea where the phone sits on the back of the truck. And then finally, the fourth idea generation technique is called technology transfer. And the idea was to find a product in your house and to transfer features of that product into an idea for your phone holder. So this one here you can see uses this curved feature that holds the phone at an angle. So what we'll do now is we'll have to decide which one of these ideas are we going to develop. I have decided that I'm going to develop idea 2. So we now want to start to produce a development page. Once you have chosen which one of your initial ideas you would like to develop, when you produce your development page, you want to sketch that idea at the top left hand corner. Now, it's a 3D sketch, could be a 3D sketch or a 2D sketch. I'm going to do an isometric 3D sketch of idea 2. So what I'll do is I'll just speed it up so that we get through this a bit more quickly. Okay, in this development page, what I would like you to do, once you've finished sketching your idea at top left hand corner, is we want to develop it in relation to the design factor function. Okay, now the function of the phone holder is to hold a phone. And in this idea, it's a slot that's used to hold the phone. On this particular page, development page, what I would like you to do is to try and think of 3 other ways in which the phone could be held, and sketch these 3 different ways and then add comments. Okay, so the idea that we've got uses a slot to hold the phone. I need to take some time and try and think, well, how else could I hold this phone? Okay, so I'm now going to sketch another way of holding the phone, and note it's still the same idea, basically the same idea. It's a block of wood where the corners have been cut away. You can see it's a 2D sketch that I'm using here. I cut the corners away to create the shape. And instead of using a slot, how else could I hold the phone? I'm thinking, well, why not use some dowels? We could drill 4 holes in the top of the bit of wood and insert 4 dowels. So this is looking at the phone holder from above. I'll then outline it to make it stand out from the construction lines. Again, try and make sure that your sketches are neat and tidy. Try and use the technique that you've been shown when you're drawing straight lines. So there's my four dowels. Now remember, we are looking at this from above. It's a 2D sketch, but I do need to add some comments to explain this way in which the phone could be held. So this is an alternative way in which we could hold the phone. You can imagine that the phone would just sit in between these 4 dowels, and that would be a different way of this particular idea functioning. So having created one idea, I need to try and think of another idea. How else could we hold the phone? In this case, along the same lines, instead of using dowels, and instead of cutting a groove out of the wood, we could basically add strips of wood to the top to create the groove. So again, it's the same shape. Okay, I'll just speed the video up and then talk to you about this alternative way of holding the phone. Now, as you can see, in this idea, I'm using strips of wood which are glued to the top of the base, and the phone would sit inside the gap between these strips of wood. So this is a second alternative method of holding the phone. And then I want to do my last method. Again, I'll speed the video up so that we get through this more quickly. Now, as you can see, this third alternative way of holding the phone basically involves joining the shaped piece of wood to another piece of wood to create a platform or shelf, and the phone sits on that platform. So we now have 3 alternative ways in which we can hold the phone. So we've developed it and explored these 3 alternative ways. And then we'll select one of these and we'll develop it further. And in the next development page, we'll focus on trying to improve how it looks. In design and manufacture, the technical term for that is its aesthetics. So we'll try and improve how it looks aesthetically. Once you've finished the page, what I would like you to do is to add a title, development, big letters at top left hand corner,